All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, go and jump to the video immediately. Democrats are given a permission slip to go after law enforcement. Really? Without even hearing it, I believe it.
For tonight's big close-up is DHS Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs, Tricia McLaughlin. Tricia, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for everything that you do and communicating all this important stuff to the American people. So we know that we have a variety of these ICE tracking apps. Now, it's my understanding that a lot of these app stores decided that those were pretty inappropriate and dangerous, and a lot of those app stores decided to pull off those ICE tracking apps. But then you have Democrats saying that, well, we're just still going to track ICE agents. You've got Gavin Newsom there on his 20th podcast this week saying that he doesn't want ICE agents or federal agents to wear masks except for COVID. He wants them to show their ID except to vote. What does this mean for ICE agents, and what have you heard from your agents about how this could possibly endanger them or their family members?
Guys, come on.
Well, I think Todd Lyons, the acting director of ICE, put it best when he said that these ICE trackers are really like giving a hitman a map. And that's exactly what's going on here. And these Democrats that are pushing for the use of their own maps, they're either encouraging criminal illegal aliens to evade or arrest, or worse, they're encouraging, and God forbid, the of our law enforcement who are already seeing 1,000% increase in assaults against them. But let's keep in mind, Tommy, what's going on with our law enforcement. They're being doxxed. Their family, where
Massively.
they go to school, where their children live, where their children, where their spouses work, that's being doxxed on the deep, dark web. This is really horrendous that's going on, and these Democrat politicians continue to encourage it, incite it, and give really a permission slip to these lunatics who go after our law enforcement. We just saw a couple weeks ago out of Dallas a attack where the deranged individual there, he put anti-ICE messages on the shell casings and also left behind handwritten notes that said that he wanted to bring the ultimate annihilation to ICE. This is what our law...
While legitimately only, unfortunately, puncturing, let's say, the actual migrants.
Law enforcement's facing. That is why they wear those masks, to protect themselves.
Tricia, an illegal alien truck driver, this is a story that just keeps coming up, something like this. He crossed the border under the Biden administration in California. He was arrested, but then he was set free, I think, in 2022. He allegedly was driving under the influence when he crashed his truck, and he killed 3 people. Now, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is taking action against California for giving these licenses to illegals. Check it out.
That's what California has done. They have unlawfully issued 60,000 of these licenses to people who have come into the country, and they've done it illegally. So you have 60,000 people on the roads who shouldn't have licenses. So, one, I'm about to pull $160 million from California, and as we pull more money, we also have the option of pulling California's ability to issue commercial driver's licenses.
Yeah, like I said,
that would be detrimental to California. But again, they're not going to learn, guys. I mean, like, let's just be completely honest here. They're not going to learn here. They truthfully believe that that the ideology specifically of Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom is the ideology of or should be the morally superior ideology of the United States of America. But unfortunately, or fortunately, actually, the United States of America is not California. It is not, in fact, New York State, guys. It is not Illinois.
The only time this has happened, it's happened, we see it more often, it seems like, at least 3 that I can think of in the last couple of weeks. At least 19 states, along with D.C., allow illegal aliens to obtain a driver's license. And then you have states like California that build on that by issuing CDLs to them. So here's my question to you. Is there any database that would allow DHS to look for... there's this rule that even the DOT has about non-domicile CDLs. Is there any way to cross-reference and go after these individuals? Maybe they haven't done anything other than drive a truck, but I feel like if there are people out there who, and the other rule that DOT is enforcing is the English proficiency rule, is there no way to go and pinpoint and strategically pull these people off the road preemptively? Do they have to somebody crossing 5 lanes of traffic or drunk driving before we can even identify them?
Joey, you're exactly right, and that's exactly what we're doing under Secretary Noem with the partnership of the Department of Transportation. Secretary Duffy's been incredibly proactive on this issue, and he's been a great partner. You're exactly right. We're seeing more and more of this. It was just 3 months ago that we saw out of Florida an individual, also an Indian national, who had illegally entered the country and gotten work authorization under the Biden administration. He went on to 3 people. He also got that commercial driver's license from the state of California. And then, of course, of course, then this issue just a few days ago, what we're seeing is that California again issued this commercial driver's license to another Indian national. This individual was intoxicated, driving under the influence, and 3 innocent souls. We're praying for those families, but we're going to do more than pray. We're also going to take action and prevent this from ever happening again. And Secretary Duffy, I think he's going to have more information and more announcements to come shortly, hopefully this week.
Tricia, great to see you. Lisa Booth here.
Guys.
I want to talk about the Maryland man who's from
Also, I want to go ahead and point that it has nothing to really do with where the person is from. It's the fact that the person specifically is an illegal immigrant that is not excessively proficient in the English language. Our signs are legitimately in the English language, and they're driving on our roads in these gigantic monstrosities that are incredibly dangerous. If you were to actually get into any type of, let's say, kerfuffle with one, right, you'll start to immediately realize, guys, we have an issue. They have to speak English, period. Our roadsides are in English. Okay, it is what it is here,
Salvador. The Trump administration is looking to deport MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia to Liberia.
He's still here?
Yeah, and it could happen.
Liberia, and we should all know what Liberia is. It has 1 star, and it has a flag that looks identical to the United States of America for a reason, guys. Right? Do the research on Liberia.
And as soon as the end of this month, after reaching an agreement with the country on Friday, Liberia. There we go. You know, Tricia, why is it so hard?
Liberty, guys. Seriously, if you want to have fun, do your research specifically on the country of Liberia and the history of Liberia and the United States of America, why it's liberty, right? Why do they have 1 star, and why they have our exact flag.
Hard to deport an illegal alien with ties to MS-13, who's here illegally, obviously, and has been credibly accused of smuggling.
Well, it's these activist judges who time and time again were preventing this criminal illegal alien from being deported for a second time. But let's also remember, who is Kilmar Abrego Garcia? He was indicted by a grand jury. He's an MS-13 gang member. He was a full-time trafficker. And if you read the indictment, it's quite egregious what he was involved in. The women under his control. He was soliciting. This is a despicable individual who, we won't forget, the media tried to force-feed Americans that this is some innocent Maryland father when he's anything but. He will have a new life in Liberia. We're glad to see him go, and that's looking like that will be occurring this week.
Also a spousal as well, on top of everything else that you just mentioned. Tricia,
Yes.
It's Guy Benson. I want to ask you about something else. The New York Times reporting that the White House is potentially planning to make some changes at the high reaches of ICE and replace several senior leaders across the country to speed up deportations. President Trump, Stephen Miller, reportedly not satisfied with that pace of daily arrest. Now, you told the Times in that story that there hadn't been any such shakeup yet. That was as of Friday. Any update for us there?
No changes to announce at this time, but Guy, I will say the Trump administration, Department of Homeland Security, we're all about results. At this point, we've arrested and deported about 500,000 illegal aliens from this country, and 1.6 million illegal aliens have self-deported, but we have a lot more work to do. We want to really surge those arrest numbers, especially given that one big, beautiful bill that we've received the funding to do it. I think we're going to be making great progress. We've have 175,000 applications to ICE, so we can really surge our workforce and get more brave men and women on the ground to do this great work. But I do have to say, I think what Secretary Noem and President Trump have been able to do is really nothing short of extraordinary. Our law enforcement has faced demonizations, the injunctions from these activist judges, these sanctuary city politicians trying to prevent us time and time again. We're not giving an inch, and we will deliver on the mandate for the American people.
Tricia, just very quickly as a follow-up, did I hear you correctly that between deportations and self-deportations, it's over 2 million illegal immigrants out of the country over the Trump administration thus far?
That's right, in just over 270 days.
Jeez,
Real quick
guys.
on that topic, this idea that has circulated kind of conversationally that President Trump ordered both to get the worst out first, but also has been pushing really hard to get the overall numbers up. Been in office now for months. Has that process gotten tightened and gotten better? Are you able to both get the numbers up and go after the worst? Is it cross communication among departments? Like, has anything held that up? Where is the state of that?
Good question.
Oh,
Good question.
absolutely. I mean, we're looking also at an agency who was completely dilapidated for the last 4 years. People were working from home who should have been out on the streets arresting individuals. So it was really
That wasn't their
getting
job.
that agency back up and running. Our law enforcement had been hamstrung for 4 years. So that's part A. But then part B, closing that border. We now have Border Patrol agents who are actually making arrests in the interior of our country. You're seeing that out of Los Angeles. You're seeing that out of Chicago. And now we're getting an even greater workforce. So I think you're going to be seeing more surges in arrests as well.
Yeah, guys, I can definitely see that thing like happening. Let's say this year. You know, specifically if they're going into the interior, which they obviously are, because we see Border Patrol like literally everywhere now, guys, right? Because again, this is where people have been running. Obviously, they're running to a lot of these big, gigantic cities, and what are they doing? They're setting up shop, and so Border Patrol has to, in fact, come into the interior. Everything is all fun and games, let's say, until you just so happen to be on one of those buses, and now you have to identify yourself as an American. I can definitely see how that could be I can see how that could be moderately troubling. But again, I think in cases where Border Patrol is specifically looking for illegal immigrants, I don't really see that being too much of an issue. Just say, listen, I'm American. It is what it is, my boy. All right. But either way, guys, we can argue the Fourth Amendment. I understand, right? Because I can already see the comments because people think that I speak out of ignorance. I don't, right? I don't think I do, at least. Right? But either way, I like the idea that we are deporting more people. Right. I have no problem with the concept of immigrants or migrants. I have no problem with the concept of refugees. I think that we are a country, and we have basically been excessively benevolent, let's say, with how we offer asylum to people, more so than some other places do. I think we have the ability to, and I don't see how helping people specifically is an issue. But the problem here is that 80 to 90% of the people that have come into our country are here lying to us. Their country is not persecuting them. Their government is not persecuting them for who or what they represent, guys. It's not. They're just broke. Okay, that's it. They're economic migrants, and economic migrants is not a clause underneath the asylum clause, guys. Okay, so I think if you are here coming for asylum, I have no problem helping you out. But not the 80 to 90% that are lying because their country has failed. I'm sorry, guys. Time to go back, my boys. All right. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Let me know in the comments what I should be checking out next. And if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies. And I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings. And we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry, right? Listen, like and subscribe.